Breath of the Wild Walkthroughs, Episode 4. Daim Shrine, Stasis Trial. What's up, YouTube? So this episode, we're going to be doing the Daim Shrine in The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. The last episode, we did the Jabaig Shrine, destroyed a stone talus, sub-boss, hunted meat, and got a few treasure chests. And in this episode, we're going to complete our third shrine, and so all those Zelda gamers out there, be sure to watch this because you'll be blown away. So we're gonna select our save data. So you can see that our latest save was at the old man's campfire in the Forest of Spirits on the Great Plateau. We had just destroyed a stone talus sub-boss, and we just skipped to dawn. So you can see that there are two markers. So you can, if you open up your map, then you can see that we already did the Oman Ao Shrine. There's two shrines we completed: the Oman Ao Shrine and the Jabaig Shrine, where we got Magnesis and bombs respectively. So we have two more shrines left that we marked by markers in the first episode. So we're going toward that blue pin that I just showed you, which is to the south. But first we're gonna get out of this forest. Just follow the clearing past this lake. I guess I'll go through the forest, but to this hill, and then we're gonna climb up the hill. I'm using stamina, and so can you if you want to make the trip go faster. However, that's optional. Well, this is just the most straightforward way to do. These videos just show the most straightforward way to do things. However, you can explore and roam all you want, and not blindly follow the waypoints. In fact, this is the first The Legend of Zelda game that has this open world format, which is what makes it so special. And for all those Wii U players out there, it's basically the same thing. So you can see we're right next to the Temple of Time. We're just trying to get to it. And then we're gonna let's wait until our stamina refills. And then what you want to do is once you get to the top, defeat this bokoblin. Right now, I'm gonna, there we go, then pick up the Boko Club it dropped. And right now you should save the best weapons for last. That's usually how it should work, except for bosses and sub-bosses. So I equipped this Traveler's Spear, which is the lowest damage weapon that I have. So you want to go around the left side of the Temple of Time as you enter. That's the shrine where we want to go, but it's on a high ledge, which I'll address the issue of in a minute. So you just want to jump off this ledge. Well, I'm gonna jump off this ledge. You should probably go down the slope if you want to be careful about fall damage and lose valuable hearts. Hearts are very valuable in this stage. So you just want to go around this huge rock mound, or you might want to climb it, like I'm gonna do in a second, to get the rushroom. This is a mushroom that gives you stamina. It doesn't give you stamina, it actually increases your movement speed when cooked. So now we're at the hut that the old man lives in. And this is this huge barrel that you can't find anywhere else. I'm just gonna walk around in it. Because it's funny. That's probably the funniest part about Breath of the Wild. It's probably the funniest part about The Legend of Zelda, aside from Korok trolling. which isn't even in Breath of the Wild. Anyway, you want to pick up these spicy peppers, and then you want to go into the hut, pick up these spicy peppers, and, get this woodcutter's axe, this baked apple, and the stamella shroom we have. And then read his diary, which will hint as a vague recollection of a dish that they came up with, but has forgotten how to make. Spicy meat and seafood fry. And if you cook it and give it to him, note that in the next video, and in the next part of your adventure, we're going to enter an extremely cold environment. And in this cold environment, you'll take damage if unprotected. However, if you want to be protected, then you'll need to get a warm doublet, which you can get from the old man. So let's get this Korok here. But anyway, you can see the shrines at the top of the ledge. So you're going to want to get the warm doublet from the old man, and the way you do that is by giving him spicy meat and seafood fry, which I'll address in a minute. And also, we're going to have to climb to the top of that ledge. So we're going to have to cook some meals that restore stamina, because we only have one stamina ring as of now. So there are two stamella shrooms over here and one in this corner. And there's another one next to this tree. There's a Hylian shroom here, but we don't need to address that. There's the old man over there. This Hylian shroom. So now let's get cooking. So you want to go back to this cooking pot right over here. And let's just put this barrel aside. So we're going to want to cook spicy meat and seafood fry. If you watch the past two videos, we already hunted meat in the last video and caught a fish in the video before that. And you can see we have those right there in our inventory. And the meat, the fish, and the spicy pepper that we just got, which you can see also in our inventory, are the 3 ingredients we need for spicy meats and seafood fry. So you just want to hold one of each. Like so. And this will get spicy meat and seafood fry. So, and we're also going to want to cook some stamina restoring dishes to restore our stamina, which we'll gradually lose while we climb. So we're gonna want we got 6 stamella shrooms, and we're gonna cook them 2 at a time to get some good energizing dishes. If you follow me very carefully, you won't need these, but if you take another route, then you will. So, this is just preparing you for later. So this will give you 3 mushroom skewers. That combined will completely restore your ring of stamina. Each one will restore a third of your ring of stamina. Let's cook these for restoring hearts. Each one will restore a third of your ring of stamina, but make sure to cook a bunch, because you may need more than one of these meals. So we're cooking these mushroom skewers, not because we need them, but because, well, we do need them, because of their restorative properties. And combining this with meat will give us a spicy dish. Not that we'll need it. Not that we'll need the Stasis effect, but because of the restorative properties. This mushroom and the 4 acorns. That will give us a low-level speed boost, which is good for you speedrunners out there. Then these 5 apples. And finally these 3 apples. Yeah, and finally these 3 apples. So now we're all prepared. We have the stamina restoring dishes for our long climb, and we have the spicy meat and seafood fry, which I'll tell you what, which we'll exchange with the old man for the warm doublet. That will that'll help us in the cold temperatures ahead. So, you're gonna walk to the old man. You'll find him over here near this gap, which you should not jump down unless you want. Do not jump down unless the goal is to kill yourself. And talk to the old man. You'll find him chopping down a tree. And after you talk to him, this will cause him to walk back to the hut. So, we're just gonna follow him back to the cabin. And make sure you have a woodcutter's axe like the one in his hut, because this will help you in a bit. Again, you should have a few stamina restoring dishes and spicy meats and seafood fry. So now, once he sits down, talk to him again, and then when he tells you about cooking, then say I cooked something, and then you'll show him the spicy meats and seafood fry, and he'll remember the recipe and give you the warm doublet, which again will be useful for the cold temperatures ahead, which are currently fatal to Link if you aren't protected. But you will be protected if you have the warm doublet. Like he says, you'll be able to resist the bites of colder environments. Like the cold environment part of the Great Plateau, where the shrine, not this shrine, but the shrine after this one is. So you want to immediately equip this warm doublet. And then you want to equip a woodcutter's axe and go back to the grove of trees that he was chopping down. And then one of the ones that's right next to the gap, you do not want to fall down there unless you want to die. So you want to angle yourself toward the other side, like he said in a previous monologue, and then just chop it down so it forms a balance beam style bridge. So just jump on it and very slowly and carefully cross. Slow and steady wins the race. There are a couple bokoblins there. You can kill them if you want, but it's not mandatory. But what you really want to do is you can see all those ledges, and you're going to want to climb up from ledge to ledge until you get to the top. You can see the first ledge up here. You can jump if you want to speed along the process. That consumes a lot of stamina, and if you really want to jump, you might consider consuming one of the stamina recovery dishes that you've made when your stamina gets low. And then there are mushrooms growing along the path. Feel free to pick these up if you want. Because they have really good speed boosting benefits if you cook them. And then keep going. Pick up these two mushrooms. We're almost down to a sliver of stamina. but that's only because I jumped. You shouldn't jump. And I barely made it. But if you're worried about stamina, you might want to consume one of the dishes that you made. Anyway, we're really far up now. There's only a few more steps until we reach the shrine. And just keep going. And jump, and then you're only a few steps away from the Daim shrine. And like with the previous 2 shrines, examine this pedestal to open it up. You can skip this cutscene by pressing X on your controller if you want. And then press A to examine it, and then you can skip this cutscene if you wish. But I like it, so I'm not going to. So this is called Stasis Trial. So, Stasis is a new rune that you're gonna get. By examining this guidance stone next to the entrance. And then get Stasis, where you can stop the flow of time for an object. This basically allows you to stop objects in their tracks temporarily, and like stop them from moving at all. And if you hit them with a weapon, then you will. And if you hit them with a weapon, and depending on how many times you hit the thing, then it'll cause it to move. So anyway, you see this rotating platform. So you're gonna want to activate Stasis, line up your reticle with the gear that's turning it, and then stop it when it's horizontal, and then go across before the effect ends. Just like across the next part. Then if you want to speed it up, then you can line your reticle up with it and select it again to stop it. And in the next section, balls roll down a corridor, and they'll crush you, taking away a lot of your health. If you, they're currently lethal, so you're gonna want to stop them with Stasis to stop them from doing that, and run up the ramp and run to the left. And then activate them again, and then run up, and then get this shield in the chest. This is optional, but it's a good shield in this stage of the adventure. And then run back down and to the right. And then, if you need to free up some space, like I will in a second, but take the iron sledgehammer that you find lying against the wall. And then equip it. In the next section, it's a final puzzle where the bridge to the altar is blocked by a stone ball. You can't push it, and you can't jump around it because you'll get plunged into the abyss. Instead, cast Stasis on it and then hit it repeatedly. And just like spam Y. And then it'll like throw itself out of the way. And then you can get your 3rd spirit orb from the altar. You can walk across the altar very carefully, get your 3rd spirit orb, and complete the shrine. Press X, and then press X again. And you can try out your new Stasis rune right outside the shrine, which I'll show you, to get access to a treasure chest that holds a traveler's bow. Basically the treasure chest is in a shallow hole, but it's blocked by a boulder. If you look around the right side of the shrine, you'll see the boulder, and it's blocking the treasure chest in the hole. So you're gonna want to do the same thing you did with that ball in the last puzzle of the shrine, which is cast stasis on it so it moves, and then hit it repeatedly. So then it hits the ball of the way, allowing you to get the treasure chest. This contains a traveler's bow. Anyway, this concludes the walkthrough to the shrine in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And pay attention to the next video, which is the Kenamut Shrine, Cryonis Trial. Coming soon to a social media app near you. So long, all ye Zelda gamers out there, and make like a horse and gallop away. And also, be sure to like and subscribe to promote this channel. And leave a comment if you want.